Very good day to have you, Mr. Olatide.
Thank you so much once again. Good afternoon, Nigerians. Good afternoon once again, Nigerians.
Exactly. I can see the excitement in your voice, even in your look. It's like everybody is happy that Dangote has successfully launched a stock.
Yes. Outside that, Dangote also celebrated 1 year of truck out of PMS. This time last year was when it trucked out PMS from his refinery. So it came in line with the 1,000 CNG truck rollout in collaboration with a 1-year anniversary of Dangote's truck out of PMS at the refinery.
Interesting. But dipping further into what has happened, let's have more of your reaction to this development going forward. So let's have your reaction.
Thank you. Yes, for me, I think this is a milestone in the petroleum downstream sector in Nigeria, because the Dangote Refinery is the 7th largest refinery in the world. And as a Nigerian and as a Pan-African, I am so proud of Dangote Refinery and all what it has done, because in the past few years, the federal government have given license to so many businessmen, but they've not been able to achieve this. In the last few years, we've had issues of, the NMPCL, the refinery at Port Harcourt is coming up, the one in Warri is coming up. Everything has fallen under the bridge. So for me, this calls for celebration. And looking at the 1,000 CNG truck, we have several views. Some stakeholders are saying, no, this is monopolistic in nature. Some other arm are saying, no, this will bring about efficiency and drive down pump prices. So for me, as an expert, basically a price expert, Dangote has solved 2 major problems. The first problem is supply problem. In the last few years, 2-3 years, we've had supply glitches where the importers or the depot owners would hold their products, station owners will hold their products, and prices will surge per liter. Price at station will surge as high as 2,500 per liter. But for now that we have Dangote producing close to 100 million liters daily, the supply or scarcity problem is finally gone in Nigeria. Now, the second problem is the pricing problem. Nigerians really want to buy cheaper petrol at the pump. But one of the major challenges that we're having is that 60% of Dangote's crude that it uses for refining is being imported. That is a major backlog. And if that is not sorted out, our prices will still continue to hover around 800, 820, thereabout, but which is not too good for a country like Nigeria that is the major or the #1 producer of oil in Nigeria. So for me, the rollout is good. It's going to bring about efficiency. Yes, it's going to bring about efficiency, because if you look at the depot arrangements, there are so many intermediaries. They call them depot marketers. There are so many depot marketers between the depot and the station owner. And sometimes those intermediaries contribute to hike in this petroleum product, because some of them, they buy from the depot, they will hold it, they will not sell out. When they notice that, there's a bit of scarcity, they raise their prices high. Station owners, as soon as they get it, they take advantage. So now, those bottlenecks are taking off. Dangote is saying that, come and buy directly from me, and I supply you with free transport. So all of these bottlenecks is going off bit by bit. And over time, it's going to bring about efficiency, and it's going to drive petrol prices down at the pump.
Exactly. Talking about the price, because for many of our viewers out there now, it is the price that are much interested in. But how will this development shape the price of petroleum products in Nigeria? From you as an insider, an industry player, and an expert at that matter, who also understand the price mechanism changes and dynamics, But how will this development really bring down that price to that desirable, affordable, accessible price that most Nigerians are desiring?
Yeah, thank you. You know, generally, competition brings about efficiency, and competition, and when there's efficiency, it drives down prices. And you know, what we have now is a kind of a competition between the Dangote Refinery and the depot owners. They are trying to we have larger percent. Dangote saying no. I am the major market share leader. Time will tell. What Nigeria wants is to drop prices. So when those competition get in, it is the factor of demand and supply. We don't have enough supply ahead of demand. That is why prices are dropping. You have Dangote Refinery producing 100 million liters daily. You have the importers still importing close to 30 million liters daily. You can see it has helped increase the supply of petroleum product in Nigeria. So what we start seeing is reduction because supply currently exceeds demand. Price will start dropping. But for me, by and large, Dangote is the new sheriff in town. He calls the shots as we speak. And if Dangote decides that, oh, tomorrow the price per liter, my price at my gantry price per liter is liter. The depot owners will need to re-strategize to see how to remain in business. But the only way that we could drop that price is by having access to crude in Naira. I understand that a reasonable part of our crude is being pre-sold. They've sold them in advance. And insiders are making us understand that some of those contracts will start easing out by the end of this year. And as soon as they ease out, they are planning of giving Dangote 100% access to crude. And as soon as he gets that, game over. Game over. Prices will drop immediately. I am sure of that.
Exactly. Interesting. But let me ask you, you know, before the launch of this 1,000 CNG trucks, there were feelings, bad feelings, Nupeng here, PTDF here, all the unions were angry, Ipman, Protein, all of them, all the unions within oil. But let me ask, how are they feeling now? What's the feel in the circle of oil and gas, industry player right now, particularly from the union side, the retail depot and the Dapman and the rest of them? How are they feeling now?
Well, I want you to understand that those stakeholders, they have their different interests. The interest of Nupeng is different from the interest of Dapman. The interest of Dapman is different from the interest of Petran. The interest of Petran is different from the interest of Ipman. They all have their different interests and they are fighting for their interests, quite frankly. Not basically for the interest of Nigeria. What is Nupeng's interest? Nupeng takes close to 70,000 naira to load the truck at the depot. They still want to retain that fee in all of Dangote's truck by unionizing his drivers and his refinery workers. That is one interest for the Nupeng. So it's not all about the Nigerian interest. It is their interest. That's for Nupeng. Now, for Ipman has been in between. They've been neutral in this matter. They are partially for Dangote. They feel that because Ipman have the largest number of filling stations in Nigeria, so they feel that station owners are struggling to buy petroleum products because to buy a truck of PMS will cost you over 40 million naira. And so a lot of their members are struggling. So many stations come together to buy a truck. You see 2-3 stations come together to buy a truck and they discharge it in bits because they cannot afford 40 million to buy a truck. So they are saying that since we are faced with this problem, and Dangote is saying that, oh, if you buy this number of quantity, we are going to give you free. We are going to give you credit for that same quantity you bought. Like if you buy 500,000 liters, you will have access to extra 500,000 liters as credit. So IFAN is saying that this is a good one for their members, and they are supporting Dangote because of they are looking at it that their members are struggling to source petroleum product at the depot because of the surge, the increment in the cost of a truck. So if you look at Petron also have their interest. They might feel, oh, Dangote want to monopolize the industry and all of that. That man, and for depot owners, theirs is glaring. Dangote is taking them out of business because Dangote has the capacity to load over 2,000 trucks daily. That is equivalent to all the loadings of all the depots in Nigeria. So they all have their interest. They are fighting for it. So for me, this is an opportunity for innovation. This is an opportunity for everybody to wear their thinking cap. No more free money the way we've had in the past. Subsidy money, no more subsidy money, no more free money. You need to think, you need to innovate before you hand now, because there is a new sheriff in town.
Interesting. Very interesting. I really love the perspective you throw in now. There's no free money from federal government subsidy anymore. Now, Dangote also have cut off those free bills that come from little charges here and there for this union member. But going forward, because this question is quite interesting, we need to also ask ourselves, and that question is this: how sustainable will this be for Dangote? Will he be able to sustain this 4,500 or even this 1,000 that he has launched? How will he be able to sustain it going by with our bad roads, with insecurity and other things that comes with it? Let's have your view on that.
Well, for me, I understand that there are challenges ahead. But the good thing is that Dangote is a seasoned businessman. He has been into distribution before now. In other businesses, he has been into distribution, he has been into production. So he understands the nitty-gritty of production and distribution. So I understand that we have bad roads. I understand that the CNG, access to CNG might be a challenge, because if your truck is moving from Lagos to Makurdi and coming back, we have limited CNG stations. CNG stations we have across Nigeria, they are not more than 200 stations. So but by and large, the beauty of any business endeavor is to overcome challenges. And I know that as a senior businessman, he knows that there are a lot of challenges ahead. He said it in his recent interview that all his life, he has always been fighting. All his business endeavors that he has embarked on, there is this fight to remain in business and to keep going. That he is ready to fight for the refinery to meet Nigerian needs in terms of petroleum products.
Exactly. Now, talking about the government, just as Dangote launches 1,000 first phase of its over 4,500 CNG truck, the federal government congratulates him. But, in that congratulation, we saw something very striking. But we also know that out of that congratulation that the federal government is pushing out to Dangote, they need to still make sure that they do the right thing for him. That is, accessing local crude, just like you rightly pointed out. But I want you to react to this congratulation and also still, talk more about the accessing of the crude that I need at this point in time.
Yes, because if Dangote Refinery keeps importing crude, its pricing mechanism would be at par with that of the importers. Because it's just almost the same thing. If you import crude and refine, your cost of production will still be high. And it's still going to be at par with someone that is importing. So, and Nigerians will not really feel the benefits of that mega refinery we have. And one of the reasons why Dangote embarked on this journey is because he's aware that the main resources, the main raw material for his refinery is sourced in Nigeria. We have it in abundance in Nigeria. That's one of the reasons why he feels that, I think this is a good project to embark on, because crude, we have the crude, like his refinery is closer to the raw material. So hopefully, we've seen positive development in the upstream. In the last 2 months, we've had a surge. In the last 2 months, we've had a surge in our production level. It has rose to 1.7 million barrels per day, 1.8 million barrels per day. That is a good one. But there's still room for improvement. We need to hit the 2.5 million barrels per day. And our resources should be properly managed. We should make sure that the local refineries, not only the Dangote Refinery, because there might still be monopoly if we don't encourage other refineries to come on board. Or what the other importers or the owners are saying, we need a competition at the refinery level. The Boa refinery is currently ongoing. Insiders are telling us that before this year runs out, the refinery will be up. Our government refinery should be privatized. Our government refinery should be privatized and handed over to serious-minded businessmen to manage. If we have all of that, there will be competition at the refinery level. There will be no room for a monopoly. And prices would come down. So for me, the federal government should make sure that local refineries have access to crude in Naira. And hopefully, with what is going on in the upstream, I see a light at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly. Interesting. But I'd like to take you on the issue of a privatization of our refinery. Olatide, this is not the first time we'll be engaging this way. And I know that you are so passionate about the privatization of all these 4 national refineries. What do you think will really come out of it? Because privatization in Nigeria is like something that have a key leg. The power sector has become something that many people don't even want to talk about the privatization. But for you, you see, the light out at the end of the tunnel for oil and gas sector if it is being privatized. But take us through on this. And what is your passion in this regard? Let's have your view on that.
Yes. For me, if you look at all the 4 refineries, the 4 refineries, the first refinery, the Port Harcourt refinery, was commissioned in 1965. And other refineries were commissioned in 1977, 1980. The last refinery, that is the Kaduna refinery, yes, was commissioned in 1980. 1980 and now is 45 years. Most of those refineries' equipment are dilapidated. And they've not been managed over the years. So they need the private entity to come in and revamp the refinery. Because we know that if you look at the top 10 most efficient refineries in the world, 6 of them are run and owned by private entity. The biggest refinery in the world is owned by a private entity, not by a government entity. Most efficient refineries and biggest refineries are owned by private entities. Government does not really have business in running business in any country of the world. If you go to US, most of their refineries are run by private entities. It shows that only the business-minded people or the private organization can run businesses efficiently. It has been proven all around. So what government needs to do is to get a share. Part they will still retain a reasonable share of it, but the operational part to be given to the private guys. They are experienced. Most importantly, the importers and the depot owners. They've been around for over 20 years. They understand the business. If those guys get the refineries shared, I can tell you, they will go head on Dangote. And prices will start dropping. So we understand that in other sectors, we've had issues when it comes to privatization. So many persons are not happy with what's happening in the power sector. But for me, the oil and gas sector is different. It is a peculiar sector. The refineries are gone. They are gone. They are 45, 50, 55 years old. They need the private guys to come in and revamp it. But Dangote has said it severally that those refineries cannot work. And that's the truth. He said it clearly that those refineries cannot work. They will just keep pushing in money and using that refineries as a pipe to keep embezzling money in Nigeria. Those four refineries will not work in Nigeria. Those refineries are gone. We need the private guys in to manage the refineries in Nigeria.
I really appreciate your passion for this privatization of these four national refineries. But let me also add this to what we just finished talking about now, particularly, state governors are also interested in oil and gas sector. We have seen the likes of Akwa Ibom, Delta State, Edo State, and others in that like manner, trying to invest in the aspect of gas. What do you make of, state government trying as much as to go investors into their state, drawing a blueprint on gas issues, oil and gas aspect, to make sure that their state also come up in this regard? But let's have your views as someone who is an insider, a player in that industry.
Yes, we all know that the future is gas. Yes, the future is gas. And currently, the petroleum industry is still very much intact. It's still very much intact. Because of our growing population all over the world, the petroleum industry is not an industry that is going to wind down anytime soon. Against other opinion that renewable energy is coming to take over the petroleum industry. And for me, I disagree clearly that the petroleum industry will go down. The oil will keep becoming a major source of revenue because we have growing population, we have industries and all of that. So the governors looking into investing into the oil and gas is a perfect one. The oil and gas is still a major essential in so many countries all over the world. Just the same way we have our food that is an essential, that is the same way our petroleum products are essential to our commercial sector. The transport, be it industries, even homes, we need the petroleum products. So I am fully in support of state government trying to woo investors into their state or trying to think out of the box to see how that essential that is becoming a problem, to Nigerians can be solved internally. So it's a good one. Gas is the future. Over time, we keep moving from we can start thinking of electricals, renewable, and all of that. But I know that for the fact that the state government are interested in it is a good one. And looking at the fact that all over the world, gas is something that we have abundance in Nigeria. So for me, it's a good one. Exactly. I'm fully in support.
Exactly. Interesting. Let's get back to the Dangote CNG truck and the distribution of the product from Dangote Refinery. Now, do you have an idea on when the rest of the 3,500 trucks will be launched? This is just the first phase they said, but we're also looking at when the rest of the truck will be launched.
Yes. Well, yes. Yeah, well, Dangote Refinery is importing 10,000 trucks. 10,000 CNG trucks. But he is going to be using 6,000 for dry cargo and 4,000 for wet cargo. What is wet cargo? Our petroleum products. So he said, according to the chairman of Dangote, I like Dangote, he said every day 250 trucks will be coming to Nigeria between now and November. Every day. That it was in China last week to make sure that that between now and November, by November, all the trucks would be in Nigeria. And by November, we'll have 4,000 trucks on our roads. That every day we'll keep receiving 250 trucks into Nigeria to help enhance distribution, to help enhance efficiency, and to help drop prices at the pump.
Interesting. Now, for the unions, Nupeng, Ipman, Patron, and the rest of them, what do you have to say to them at this point in time? Because we all just have to put our hands together to ensure that we have a smooth ride within the oil and gas sector. But what's your advice to all the union who kick against this initiative at the beginning?
Well, for me, yes, for me, I would call for collaboration instead of the blame game and the competition. I understand that it is natural for the initial conflicts, but over time, for everybody to benefit immensely from this sector, they need to come to the round table. They need to collaborate. This is a refinery, and you other guys are not refining. You are importing. And I understand that for us to have a balanced energy security in Nigeria, we need the combination of importation and local refining. But it must be ratio 2 to ratio 8. That is, the importation must be 20% from the local refining. If you look at China imports 24% of what they consume, that refined product they consume. US imports 13% of the petroleum product they consume. Those are the top 5 countries. I want to list them. Japan imports 7% of what they import. India imports 9% of what they import. South Korea, they spend close to 4% of what they import. So over the world, we still have that iota of importation in collaboration with refining. But in Nigeria, according to NNDPRA, they said the importation is 71% against Dangote's 29%. That is grossly imbalanced because it's going to be a deficit to our economy. Every economy should export more than they import. So for me, we should support this refinery to grow. So it could export, and also 70% of the consumption should be tied to Dangote. It is going to help create jobs. It's going to help our currency. It's going to give investors the confidence to come and invest in Nigeria. So we should all come together to support the Dangote Refinery.
Exactly.
Because by and large, it's going to be a plus. Those stakeholders, they are used to their old lifestyle, the old way of doing things. And in life, change is constant. There is a new change, and Dangote is saying that I am in, and we are going to have a different ride.
Interesting. But before I let you go, Olatide, just in 1 minute, take us through the tankers report for today, talking about the price of every product across Nigeria, from the north to the south, and other part of the country as expected. Take us through 1 minute.
Okay, thank you. For Lagos, currently, Lagos priced their PMS at the depot at 834, 835 per liter, the private depot. While in Dangote, you still buy your liter for 820 per liter. The private depot are a bit higher. When you go to Warri sells their PMS at 865, 860, 865 in Warri. When you go to Port Harcourt, they sell between 860 to 865 also. But in Calabar, it's a bit lesser. So Calabar, when the likes of Matrix, likes of Fanfeed, the likes of Mainland Depot, they are selling between 855 to between 850 to 855. So prices are relatively dropping because of the Dangote factor. But hopefully, I understand that they are just getting used to the new system. But hopefully, in Nigeria.
Interesting. I think that's a very interesting submission coming from you, Olatide. But thank you so much for coming on the show today. And I will say it was, very instructive, dissection of what Dangote is doing from you, talking about you who have happened to be an insider, someone who understands the game better. Thank you so much for coming by to discuss all this with us today.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure to be here once again.